Okay, first off, sorry for the clickbaity title. I'm not saying that like you're fat, because of course your weight does not determine who you are. You are the same beautiful, amazing person, whether you are at your leanest or at your heaviest. I know I've been heavier myself. I was the same amazing person. However, I know a lot of you are here because you do want to lose weight and you are struggling, you're frustrated, you don't know what you're getting wrong. And that is what this video is going to address. My name is Louise. I'm an ex-competitive athlete, although I will compete again sometime soon. I was going to compete this year, but things went wrong. So I've got all that knowledge. I've also done 2 personal training diplomas online, and I also talk to people in the gym. I have watched countless weight loss videos. I've read countless weight loss and health books. And so I've just got all this like knowledge bubbling in my brain. And I think that weight loss, obviously, I've said it a million times before, can be boiled down to energy balance, calories in, calories out. Abs are made in the kitchen. So what that really means is that you have to dial in your nutrition. But a lot of us just get some little aspect or element of it wrong, and then we get frustrated. We can't understand why we are not losing weight. And so I hope that I can tackle some of the common reasons you may not be losing weight, which is what is keeping the weight on you. I love you no matter what weight you are, but let's dive into these reasons. Number one, and the most common reason, is that you are very good in the week. You go to gym, you eat healthy, and your weight sort of comes down. And then you go wild on the weekends because it's weekend. Of course, I want to go out with my friends. I want to just relax. I want to let my hair down. And you don't realize how many calories you could actually eat in the space of 2 days, especially if it starts on a Friday evening. And I get it. I understand why we want to do that. We all want to just be able to eat what we want and never gain a pound. Unfortunately, that is not reality. And so if you are gaining weight, you need to face reality and face the fact that even on the weekend, calories count. They just do. They count no matter when you eat them. They count no matter what form they come in. They count. And so that is where you could be coming unstuck. A bottle of wine, on average, has 800 calories. For me, my size, I'm a small female, petite, short, not a very big woman. My average sort of calorie allotment to maintain my weight is like 1,600 calories. Maybe if I'm very active, 1,007. A bottle of wine is half my daily calories. So let's say over the weekend you've had 2 or 3 bottles of wine. That is already for me more than a day's eating. Plus you go out, you're having snacks. Maybe you're at a restaurant, you're eating a dinner out. Everything in a restaurant is oil and butter and sugar and fried and salty and delicious. You do overeat. The portions are always bigger than what you would serve at home. They're always laden in hidden oils. Even if you ask them to grill something, there's usually some kind of oil. It's harder to track and harder to be good. And these foods are very palatable. So while you are in a deficit during the week, on a weekend, you've made up for that. And now you've actually either put yourself back into maintenance, meaning you are maintaining the slightly overweight size you are because you want to lose weight. You're maintaining it, or you've actually put back a few more calories because you went out drinking, you got so ravenous, you raided the fridge at midnight, and you have no idea how much you consumed. Next thing you know, during the course of a week, you've actually overindulged by 1,000 or more calories, which is easy to do. And I'm not saying you're a bad person, but that would explain why you are actually not losing weight. Number 2 is not accounting for alcohol. So you may say, well, I eat really healthy, but then you do enjoy your weekend drinking sessions with your friends, or maybe having beers, watching the football game, the soccer, the rugby, whatever sport you enjoy. That alcohol adds up, and it adds up quickly. And also, if you do find you're drinking 4, 5, 6, 7 drinks, that could lead to a little bit more visceral fat, which pooches your belly out a bit more. Alcohol is empty calories. I know it's fun, but we do have to be very mindful and very careful with alcohol if weight loss is your goal. The third reason is that you may be eating healthy, but you're not tracking. So you may be overeating on healthy foods. An avo, a handful of nuts, salmon, which is quite fatty. A lot of fishes are fatty. Meats that come with a bit of fat on them. All of these things are healthy foods, but they are high in calories, calorie dense. And so you may think, well, I'm eating very healthy. I'm having avos and nuts and olive oil and fatty fish, but these still add up. A calorie is still a calorie, whether it's a healthy one for you or not. There is such a thing as just excess calories, whether you are eating it through vegetables and meats and fish and seeds and whole grains or not. And I always mention this book, Running in Silence, where this young girl was a raw vegan, then she became a fruitarian. She gained weight because she just overconsumed on these foods because they told her you can just eat as much as you want. So it's very possible to gain weight on healthy foods. Obviously, the healthier the food is, hopefully, the more filling it is, the more you don't want to snack, the more your appetite is reined in. But that's not always the case for some of us. Some of us just have a really high appetite, and our satiety signals are just not working that well. And so we do need to weigh, monitor, or track our food coming in, and that is how we will lose weight. Number 4, you're doing intuitive eating, meaning you eat when you're hungry, you stop when you're full. And again, this harps back to number 3. For a lot of us, we actually don't know anymore when we are hungry and when we are full. For some of us, intuitive eating can work really well, but you really need to be mindful, in tune with your body, in tune with yourself. Usually, intuitive eating works better when you are not stressed, when you can actually breathe, savor the meal, chew slowly, and you immediately know when you're full. But for most of us, we live in a high-stress environment, and there's so much highly palatable processed foods that by the time we register we are full, we have eaten double what we should have maybe, or maybe not double, but quite a bit more. And for a lot of us at this age, we actually don't know anymore what our true hunger is. We are so accustomed to eating out of boredom. We are so accustomed to eating out of stress, nerves, anger, whatever the case may be, sometimes just for pleasure, that it's hard to know when you actually don't need any more. You just want to. You get the feel likes. And so I wouldn't rely on intuitive eating. And if you are, I would then advise to track, weigh, and measure your food to see what's truly coming in. Reason number 5 is that you're working out really hard for 5 days a week, 6 days a week, maybe even 7 days a week. You are going for it. And this can be a mistake for some people, even myself included. So even for myself, I tried running marathons. I did run marathons. I didn't try, I did it. And I find that when I was running marathons, my appetite ramped up so much that I actually found I just craved and wanted carby, sugary foods, especially after like a long training run. And so not that I was doing it for weight loss, but with the running, you would have expected that I would have been as lean as possible. And I actually wasn't. I maintained, well, pretty much where I am now with my weight. I just sort of ate those calories back. And so you could find that you're training so hard that it's ramping up your hunger, or it's giving you this unconscious signal to yourself that, you know what, I've worked out so hard, I deserve it. I deserve that cake. I'm allowed that cake. I can have that pasta. I can have lasagna because I worked so hard in the gym. I sweated bullets. I gave it my all. And then you just come home and relax, or you do all that on the weekend. And so you are just putting back in everything you worked so hard for. Now, if you enjoy training hard, great. There's nothing wrong with it. Keeping fit is always wonderful. And you can have some excess body fat and be very fit and healthy. There's nothing wrong with that. But if weight loss is your goal and you are wondering why you are unable to shed that extra pound or two, you do need to look back at your eating and see, are you making unhealthy food choices? You're dishing up bigger portions than you normally would because you are so hungry or because you deserve it. Possible reason number 6 is that you are just guesstimating your portion. So instead of actually weighing your portion sizes, you're just guessing like, oh, I think that was 100 grams of this. I think that was a bowl. Like you can get a bowl of ice cream or you can get a bowl of ice cream. And so if you're trying to like track and account for your food, there's a bowl and there's a bowl. And maybe you are underestimating your portions, but they are actually bigger. And the only way to know this is to weigh your food and then enter it into a food tracking app. That is the only way to know for sure. You don't have to weigh, you don't have to measure, you don't have to track your food. But if you are stuck at a weight loss plateau, you can't budge the bulge and you are frustrated, I highly recommend you do it for 2 weeks, 8 weeks, however long it takes. Do it because that information is right there available for you, but you do need to weigh and measure your food too. So don't guesstimate the portions and then enter that into your food tracking app because I always get it wrong. Every time I guesstimate, I am completely off. So, and that's fine if it's broccoli or something like almost a free food, green beans. Who cares if it's 100 grams, 150 grams? But when it comes to calorie-dense foods, the weight really matters and really makes a big difference. Again, peanut butter, I use that example all the time. What I consider a tablespoon, a tablespoon should be leveled off. You should actually use a measuring spoon. If you're just guesstimating, you could easily be adding quite a few calories throughout your day. Now, reason number 8 is that you are working out and you are good with your food, but you work out and then you just sit around and you're not moving afterwards. So you're not keeping your activity levels up throughout the day. And if you are not matching that with a slightly lower energy intake, it could be that you've worked out that you're putting I'm active on the calorie calculator, let's say, because you work out for an hour a day, but you're actually not moving at all throughout the rest of your day. So your calories out, you might have overestimated versus your calories coming in. And so you just need to be mindful. If you've put active, you do need to be active and to just keep up that calorie burn throughout the day. Now, number 9, this ties in exactly with number 8. You've calculated your TDEE wrong, your total daily energy expenditure wrong, for this very reason that I mentioned in number 8. Maybe you've put you're active, but you actually are only moderately active, or you're actually sedentary. And obviously, these calculators, they each spit out a different number. Maybe you landed on one and it gave you a higher TDEE than what you actually need. And so you are getting frustrated. Maybe you are tracking, you're weighing, you're measuring your food, and you say, but I'm eating 1,800 calories. Why am I not losing weight? But you're only a small, petite woman. You may actually just need less. You may just need less. So try a few online calorie calculators. Try plugging in a few different metrics like more active, moderately active, sedentary. Get a range and just see, okay, this is your range. This is your ballpark figure. And then in real life, which is what actually counts, don't worry what the computer spat out or the app. In real life, if you're not losing weight on 1,800 calories, it's too much for you. That is the bottom line. You need to drop that by a bit. Drop it by 100 calories, see where you go. If that's still not budging the weight, drop it by 100 calories more, see how you go. If that's still frustrating you, increase your steps throughout the day. Keep your movement moderate and light. You don't want to burn yourself out as well and go crazy on exercise. But if you keep your steps up throughout the day, keep active, do your housework, do your grocery shopping, walk around a bit extra, and then see how you go, because you could have figured out your total daily energy expenditure a little bit wrong. Number 10, I've spoken about this before, but you're not actually tracking correctly. If you are at a weight loss plateau, but you are tracking, you could be not tracking properly, meaning you're not tracking the teas and the coffees, or you do these like taste test nibbles throughout the day that you don't track, or like I say, you're guesstimating and you're not actually weighing and measuring your food. You're forgetting to enter some foods because you're not tracking there and then, like the minute you ate it or before you ate it even. So you do need to be very mindful. If you do want to figure out why your weight is not budging, you have to track your food properly. And I cannot overemphasize the need to weigh and measure your food. Now, again, this is only if you want to lose weight and you're frustrated with the weight not budging. This is the time to use data, use these modern things that we have at our disposal. The other way is to weigh yourself every day and then but it's so hard to remember what you ate the day before. It's so hard to keep a track in your head, but you could do that if you wanted to and you didn't want to do like a food tracking app. But a food tracking app is so useful. If you are battling to budge the weight, please try a food tracking app. I can't state that enough. The last one, number 11, and this one a lot of us know, but we tend to not do it. We're not tracking liquid calories. And I'm not just talking about alcohol, which a lot of us do sort of think, oh, alcohol, yeah, we know. All those coffees, teas, those smoothies, the iced lattes and things like that, they all contain calories. And I urge you to Google how many calories is in like a Starbucks frappe. Well, it averages somewhere around 300 calories, depending on the cream, the syrups, all the additives that they do, the size of the thing. And that is like a little meal. So you need to account for that. And you might just think, oh, well, it's just one drink, it's just a cool drink. Maybe it's a sugary beverage. Fruit juices are very high in calories, high in sugars. In fact, juicing itself, juice, is very high in sugar and calories, and it's not ideal. So you could be finding that you are eating healthy, but you're drinking healthy juices, or you're going out for coffees, you're having cappuccinos, you're having 2 lattes throughout the day, there's an extra like 150 calories per latte, depending on how big it is, depending on if you add sugar and syrup and cream. And so liquid calories, I mean, every calorie counts, unfortunately. And so liquid calories is something that we tend to unconsciously not think about, but I urge you to be mindful and think about it. So these are some possible troubleshooting reasons why you may be battling to shift the weight. And these are common mistakes. We all make them. So I really hope that this video has helped you. I hope it's shed some light, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.